So the Golden State Warriors win Game 6 on the road in Boston to become NBA champions once again. After Klay Thompson's been out 2 years, came back like middle of this season, and once he came back, they were just off to the races. They were the worst team in the league that first year he was out. Then they got knocked out in the play-in last season. And now they're back to being the best of the best. Now, as a Celtics fan, I am very disappointed. Tatum played like shit this whole series, basically. Game 5, he shot like 50%. I think it was like 10 for 20 or something like that. But if you just watch him, he just wasn't as good as you would think if he shot that well. Still turning the ball over, still messy. He just wasn't himself. And this game he scored 13. In Game 6, do or die, he scored 13 points, shot 6 for 18. It's just, there's something wrong with him. I think something's wrong with his shoulder. Every time he'd go to the basket, or not every time, but a lot of the time when he went to the basket, he'd be holding his shoulder, wincing. I think something's going on there. But still, I mean, you gotta figure out ways to be effective. Even if you are hurt, this is the NBA Finals. You gotta figure out some ways to be effective. In Game 1, he was, even though he shot terribly. Had 13 assists. Guys were knocking down shots around him, and they won. I wish he kind of just went back to that, but he didn't. He did have 7 assists, but it wasn't as effective as he was in that Game 1. But Jaylen Brown showed up Game 6, 34 points, 12 for 23 shooting, just under 50%, or just over 50%, actually. 5 for 11 from 3, but he's not completely off the hook. 5 turnovers. I mean, he's just been so messy this whole postseason. Multiple turnovers, whole team, really. They had 22 turnovers overall this game. It's just unacceptable. Gotta take care of the ball better. Tatum also had 5 turnovers. It's just sloppy. Al Horford showed up as well. He scored 19 on 6 for 8 shooting, 4 for 5 from 3. And this might be his last shot. I don't know if he's going to stay in Boston. He has a team option, so the Celtics could decline it since they'd have to pay him $28 million if they accepted it. And he's obviously not worth that, although he is a valuable piece to this young team, have a veteran presence there. So I would want them to bring him back, whether that's decline the option, sign him to a better deal, or just accept the option if they have to. I don't really want them to pay him $28 million, but I don't know, might just be worth it to keep him for that veteran presence, unless you got somebody else in mind, because he fits really well with this team. So we'll see what happens there. But he also had 14 rebounds. So he really didn't want this to be it for the Celtics. He wanted them to go Game 7 and hopefully win it all, but it didn't happen. I feel kind of bad for him, though. Hopefully he gets another shot. But the bench gave Celtics nothing. Grant Williams, 3 points, just 1 for 2 shooting. And Derek White, 2 points, 1 for 6 shooting. And that was it from the bench. Pritchard shot 0 for 2. And they need just a lot more than that from the bench. It was just an awful display. Derek White has been getting some shots this whole series since really his son was born. I think he came back Game 3 after his son was born. He missed Game 2, I think. Came back Game 3. And since then, he's been scoring some points, although he hasn't shot the best in some of those games. But this Game 6, do or die, he just was a no-show. But let's give credit to the Warriors, though. They did play well, and they're NBA champions now, so gotta give them some credit. Curry really carried this team. He scored 34 points in this game. And even when he didn't play well, in Game 5, no threes. He went 0 for like 8 or 9, something like that from 3. Celtics still couldn't beat him. They still got in their own way. And Wiggins and Thompson played really good in that game. But Curry did show up for Game 6. He wanted that title, and he got it. Wiggins scored 18. Draymond Green showed up for this one. Probably his best game. He got 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. 2 steals and 2 blocks as well. I mean, he had something to prove in this game. He wanted this one bad. You know he did. After all the talk after Game 3 with Boston, he wanted it badly. Even in the locker room after the game, they were chanting "fuck Draymond" after the chance in Game 3. So he had something to prove there, and he did it. You can also have Jordan Poole off the bench with 15. After the first couple games, he's stepped it up this series. Thought maybe he was going to be a no-show. Maybe he was too big for him his first time in the finals. Maybe he wasn't ready for the moment, but he picked it up since those first couple games. Got to give it to him. And now Gary Payton II is an NBA champion as well, like his dad, who won it with the Heat in 2006. So like father, like son, I guess. But even though the Warriors did win, they did win. The Celtics just got in their own way. I don't think it was more so the Celtics lost than it was Warriors won. The Celtics just got in their way the whole series. And just turnover after turnover. Tatum just being off this whole series. I mean, it's just really frustrating to watch, because if they played like they did Game 1, they just had a couple of players scoring in the teens, and Tatum was scoring 20 to 30, and Brown was scoring like 20. And they could have easily won the series. They were up 2-1. If they didn't blow Game 4, they would have had a 3-1 lead. They would have had 3 games to close it out. So it's just really frustrating to just see them go down like this. And it's just really disappointing, because they could have done it. But they're young. Tatum's like 24 or 25. Brown, same thing. Robert Williams is 24. Smart is 28, I think. 29. This team can still come back here. They have a lot of chances left. So I think they will get back to the NBA Finals at some point, whether it's next year, a couple years from now, a few years from now. Whatever. I think they'll be back, and I think they'll be ready next time. But congratulations to the Golden State Warriors for winning. Although I did want the Celtics, congrats to the Warriors. They do deserve it. They were the better team in this series, at least. I think it's really close overall. You could pick either one to be the better team. But in this series, Golden State Warriors definitely were, and they deserve this championship. Obviously, the Celtics just weren't ready. And now the Warriors, once again, NBA champions, 4th ring for Curry and Thompson and Draymond Green and Iguodala and Kevin Looney as well, I think. I think he was there for all 4. So, congrats to them. And I almost forgot, congratulations to Steph Curry for winning his first NBA Finals MVP. He absolutely deserves it this time. I mean, it's been a long time coming for him, and now this just really helps his legacy. So, congrats to him. But let me know your thoughts on this series and how it went down. And also, do you think the Celtics are going to get back here anytime soon? You think it'll take just a few years, maybe less? You think it'll take more? What do you think they have to do in this offseason to get better? I think they need a shooter. I think they need a 3-and-D guy fits the most with this team, considering just how they're built defensively. A 3-and-D guy would be better, but they just need a shooter, I think. So let me know what you think about all that. But thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Share the video. I have another channel called The Thoughtful Outlaw, where I talk about news in the entertainment world regarding mostly movies, TV, and video games. Maybe once in a while I'll talk about something else if it interests me, but mostly those. So check that out if you're interested in that. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.